Greetings, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope well. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. Chemtrails are a little bit heavy today, but that's another story in another video. But I digress for now. Anyways, today I want to talk about different levels of truth and the application of that truth, depending on where you are on your journey. Now, before I begin, I want to explain something about truth. Truth is a multidimensional thing. It has different realities to it, different components. And as you progress up along your journey, one will discover that what you knew back then would not be applicable later on. Or, in other words, that truth will evolve and transform into a higher truth. Now, perspective dictates your reality. In other words, the way you view your reality is the way you're going to experience your reality or your truth. And because of all the social conditioning and different interpretations, different opinions that we all experience throughout our life, it tends to muddle our innate truth, i.e., our intuition. So, intuition being a spiritual thing within itself, a deeper recognition, a deeper knowing that we quite can't put our finger upon it, but we know that it resonates with us. So let's begin with the first stage that I considered along the lines of finding our own truth. And that's when you become a neophyte, meaning you're just beginning to discover that there are more than one reality. There's multiple realities. And you're constantly changing your reality every minute by your thoughts. So when you begin, you start to encounter synchronicities. You start to encounter that there are no such thing as coincidences. And through your experiences, you start to recognize that there are so many different interpretations of what is true and what is not. Right now on this planet, we live in very interesting times. There's so much going on. I mean, the fabric of reality itself is tearing down, and the lies are being exposed. The veil is lifting, and we are looking at, behind the curtains. We're looking at the puppet masters, people pulling the strings. And as that happens, our consciousness starts to expand. Or shall I say, transform or shifts. Because a wise man, J. Muni Krishna, or shall I say J. Krishnamurti, he once said that we are reality. What we see is us. It's a reflection of ourselves. So if I am the world and the world is me, then whatever I see outside of myself is just a reflection of what I see within me. So it's not that we're changing consciousness, we're just shifting it. Because consciousness is within a certain space, if you want to call it that. Beyond that, it's ludicrous to even imagine what exists beyond our limited scope of knowledge. And that's where humbleness comes in. Being humble with what you know and not pretending to be more than what you really are. Now, eventually as you progress, you become an initiate, right? That's when you start applying what you know. And with the experience you've gained, you learn what works and what doesn't. And your experience, your reality, your truth starts to expand at the same time. You start to realize that there are multiple realities. There are multiple truths. None is right, none is wrong. But whatever works for you is going to work for you, and what works for the other guy is going to work for him. So what I believe is not necessarily what you're going to believe. So what right do I have to say that you're wrong and I'm right? I have none. Eventually, you become an adept of your own life. You gain wisdom, which is just the right application of knowledge through experience. And you start to realize that there is a harmony that exists, an order, an ultimate order, that when you know how to play your part right, then everything just runs smoothly. And you become more of an observer of your life. You start to observe. You become the passenger instead of the driver, which is confusing because we're taught, as we grow up, that we have to drive. We have to use our willpower to accomplish whatever we want. In essence, that is true to a certain degree. But have you ever stopped to consider that perhaps there are other forces driving us besides our own will? Perhaps we're getting assistance every day, every second, but yet we're not aware of it. So, truth always resonates within you. There's always a deeper resonant vibration that we feel when we hear something that is true to us. But sometimes, because we want to fall in line with certain belief systems or certain groups, certain mind hives, we ignore that. We ignore our intuition and we just go along. We follow. But the true test comes in holding strong to what you truly believe in and following that. Because 9 times out of 10, your intuition is never going to lead you astray. In fact, I would say 10 out of 10. And I'm constantly learning that every day. Learning when to listen, or when it's just my ego trying to get in the way and, having its 2 cents. That's why, again, meditation is a lifesaver. Because me personally, it helps to calm my mind. Because I have a monkey mind. My mind goes a billion miles per hour. So I have to learn how to really control it. Now, why is it easier for us to look at what's wrong with someone else but not look at our own life with the same amount of clarity? Well, it's because we're used to being the driver. But of course, when you look at a friend or a family or anyone that you're not have a certain amount of attachment to, that non-attachment offers you the freedom to truly observe what's going on. And in a way, that's something that humanity as a whole is learning how to do. And it's going to take some time, but eventually we will get to a point where we will be able to properly assess our situation and make the appropriate corrections. So with that note, just wanted to speak about a couple of ideas, a couple of things I've been thinking, and I hope you get something out of it, and that hopefully you can apply it. With that said, wholeness, I love everyone. Please subscribe, leave a comment, any suggestions. I'm open to ideas of any topics anyone would like me to discuss. So it's up to you guys. Anyways, with that said, take care, peace, love, wholeness.